Alrighty, hey everybody, here I am. Welcome to the show. Looks like we've got the General here today. Good to see you, sir. Hadn't seen you in a few days. We've got Rob, Hugh, Donald, Don, Dan, Arturo, Mark, channel members David, hey Skaggs, Sergio, Svenborn, Kimberly, despite not feeling good, my favorite subscriber in the house today. Be like water. Good to see you, Pauline, David. How you doing today, David? Mad? Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. And scrolling on down, we got Diana, Frank, Terry, Nancy, Fred, Rungamer, Ted, Craig. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. NVIDIA. It's like yeah, sorry for starting a second late. I smartly put ghost pepper hot sauce on my burrito last night. So I had to go visit the El Restaurant, but I'm here now, so hopefully I'll hang out. Hopefully that'll settle for an hour or so we can get through this, and there we go. All right, NVIDIA. Interesting, right? Let's check out the reality check here. This is, we are live here on August 28th, just in case anybody, thinks it's pre-recorded or anything. It's not. It is live. Now, my moneymaker friends, NVIDIA just reported earnings, and this is like watching your straight A student come in with a 95% on their test, having their helicopter parents wonder why it's not 99 or 100%. The stock was down last night. The analyst, some of them have an existential crisis. I have not seen Jim Cramer post so many times about something in a long time. I mean, he posted, 15, 20 times about these NVIDIA earnings. Holy moly. Holy moly. Somewhere out there in Santa Clara, Jensen Huang, probably wondering why his leather jacket lost some magic. They didn't get the big pop they were kind of expecting. But here's the thing. While everybody's crying about potentially the miss in, growth of data center sales, maybe you'll understand why the market wasn't so enthusiastic about this AI wave right now. So just to put this in perspective for those who might not understand here, imagine you're the most popular kid in school. Everybody wants to be your friend. Everybody wants to copy your homework. Everybody wants to be a part of your straight A's, right? For 2 years straight. That's NVIDIA right now in the AI world. They're literally 8% market cap of the entire S&P 500 in one single stock. That's like being the quarterback, the valedictorian, and the prom king all rolled into one. But here's where it gets a little interesting. When you're that popular, people don't just expect you to win. They expect you to dominate by increasingly ridiculous margins. I mean, it's like LeBron James scored 30 points and people were disappointed because he didn't get 50 points. I mean, I'm not big. What is that? Basketball analogy? I used AI for that one. So what happened? NVIDIA beat on earnings. $5 versus the expected dollar. They beat on revenue, 46.7 billion versus 46.2 expected. But here's the plot twist that sent some of Wall Street into therapy last night. Data center revenue came in at 41.1 billion instead of expected 41.3. Oh my gosh, we missed it by $200 million. $200 million miss on a $41 billion sales number. I mean, that's like missing your weight loss goal by a half a pound and declaring your diet a complete failure. That's right. $200 miss times a million. I mean, now, let me put on my best Wall Street analyst voice. Oh no, NVIDIA only grew their data center business by 56% year over year instead of 57%. Clearly, the AI revolution is over. Let's get out of here. Let's sell this thing. Let's move on. Buy gold. Get the bunkers ready. But seriously, let's talk about what actually happened. This was the second consecutive quarter where data centers missed the estimate And you know what that tells me? It tells me that the analysts have been smoking some premium hopium, expecting NVIDIA to defy the laws of physics and grow exponentially forever, but there's a law of big numbers. I made a video about it a couple days ago. Here's the reality check that nobody wants to talk about. When you're dealing with numbers this big, small misses kind of normal. It's like trying to predict exactly how many grains of sand are on the beach, and you're off by a few million out of the billions or trillions. But the market had a kind of full-blown tantrum last night, down upwards of 5% at one point, because apparently in 2025, anything less than perfect for NVIDIA is considered maybe a national emergency. I mean, when they're 8% of the entire market, we can burn it down quick. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the dragon in the room? China. NVIDIA had 0 H20 chip sales in China. 0. Zip. Zilch. Nada. Why'd they quit producing them? They didn't sell any in the last 3 months. And here's where it gets juicy for investors. The company is still sitting on that inventory, basically stockpiling those chips like they're preparing for a Black Friday sale. Why? Because they're betting that the Trump administration might ease up the restrictions and allow some sales to China in exchange for that 15% revenue cut. But then they're out there tweeting about that, or whatever, posting about it, that they don't think the government should get any cut. So think about this for a minute. What if China comes back to the table? That could be a big win. We're talking about a potentially billions of dollars of worth of that stock they're sitting on, chip stock, as in chips on shelves, not, stock prices. All that not really priced in the stock. So it's kind of like having a lottery ticket in your back pocket if you can actually convert it, if your numbers actually hit, right? So smart money might be paying attention if that breaks free. While everybody's panicking about tiny data center misses, I'm looking at the bigger picture here. NVIDIA just authorized another $60 billion in share buybacks. I mean, that's not the move of a company that's worried about the future. They're trying to manage their stock price. Their Blackwell architecture grew 17% sequentially. Cloud service providers still about 50% of their data center business. And get this, global AI infrastructure spending expected to hit $375 billion in 2025, $500 billion in 2026, according to UBS estimates. But here's the kicker. While everybody's focused on NVIDIA, there's some interesting plays in the supporting cast. AMD finally starting to look like a real competitor, not just NVIDIA's little brother in the shadows. Their MI350 series is actually giving NVIDIA's H200s a run for its money. AMD's stock has been rising faster than NVIDIA's. Analysts think they might capture 6 to 8% of the data center GPU market by 2027. And let's not forget about the infrastructure plays. Companies like Taiwan Semi, Broadcom, even some of the real estate investment trusts that do data centers are benefiting from this AI spending frenzy. So here's the bottom line. NVIDIA is still the king in AI chips. They're still growing business 56% year over year. That's still insane. They're still printing money faster than the Federal Reserve, but the market has gotten so used to perfection that anything less than that feels like potential disaster. This earnings miss, if you want to call it a miss, reminds me of the old Mike Tyson quote, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." Well, NVIDIA just got punched in the mouth by reality. Well, NVIDIA investors maybe. They're still standing, still profitable, recovered a little bit overnight, maybe be able to squeak higher today. So while everybody else is out there having a meltdown over a potential 0.5 percentage point miss on data center revenue, smart investors don't want to buy the world's most dominant AI company at this potential discount. Are they going to be able to move that stock of AI chips that they built for China, or are they going to have to eat it? Choice is yours, but remember, In investing, the best opportunities come disguised as disappointments. Sometimes you got to buy when others are fearful, sell when others are greedy. Is this an opportunity while we sit here basically just below all-time highs, or is it time to move on to other opportunities? That's all for this monologue today, my money makers. Let's get back into how we make money today, opportunities. Let's get on it. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation here, I predict things. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't, but it's intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. If you trade them, you might lose money. And if you want somebody to just tell you what to do, hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I'm doing. Today, Thursday, we got those GDP numbers. And it kind of patched it up right there. Boom. Government spending, ramp it up. Unemployment claims down. Everything's good. We've recovered. And NVDA last night, GDP numbers this morning, right back up. Tomorrow, we get PCE. That's Powell's favorite inflation number. Right there in the pre-markets. So we've talked about that in the past. In case you're new here, let me see if I don't have it up. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. I didn't even think about pulling this up. Let's see if I can find the PCE versus CPI. There it is right there. Bookmarked handy dandy. Pop it out, pull it over. Right there. My personal spending, my family, I'm kind of like more like CPI. Now, I've talked to some people that are like, I'm more like PCE, especially if you go to the doctor a lot. So CPI tends to be more, food, housing, that's probably most of my money. Transportation, food, housing, transportation. A little bit left over for other stuff. And so PCE, Powell likes that one better because it's more balanced, I guess. But hey, Lieutenant Colonel Goose in the house. Got Lieutenant Colonel. Got Captain Sledge. Haven't seen Major John lately. We got General Rush in the house. There we go. So how do we make money today? Just in case you wonder how we're doing. 50K challenge. Pop up here, take a look. Doing all right this year. Year to date, 24.4. Not too shabby. Last 3 months, bleeding off a little bit, 19.5. The goal to get the 1 month number, which has bled down to 1.6K. Rocket Lab was good to us, but Rocket Lab has now faded out of 1 month numbers. So the goal is to get this number to a consistent 50K per month on the 1 month. Now, that's a lot to go, right? A lot to go. You're like, well, not doing too hot. Look at this. I'm doing all right. 100% win rates. Average gain, $184. Just need more money, right? That's the only problem. I didn't start with millions of dollars. Building it though. 100% win rate. That's hard to argue with. Average gain, 95%. That's pretty good too. There you go. So if you went in on this, Termite Trading Lab, links in the description. Come join me. That's how you get the trades. But I post them all publicly right here on KInfo. So, Airman. Just an airman, Dave. Not even an airman first class. A1C. Anyway, it takes a lot of airmen to keep the thing going. Talked to a lot of crew dogs and all sorts of stuff over the years. Takes a senior airman. There you go. See? Cutting yourself short just saying you're just an airman. Well, looks like going higher, baby. Here's the target. I'm building a new system. Anybody want to see a preview? What I'm building? Yeah, all my military folk always trying to show respect. Don't ever let anything I say feel like I'm not being respectful. Came from my grandfather went to West Point and then joined the Air Force when it became a thing. I guess I don't know if he was Army Air Corps for like a year or two, and then he kind of the Air Force and his graduating from West Point kind of like the same time. So he was a colonel, full bird colonel in the Air Force. I was gonna do that, but I had a disagreement over some conditions in my contract. My grandfather advised me that if I didn't get what I wanted, I should not sign the dotted line, and needless to say, I parted ways. I even went to Lackland, and it's been a summer there, so all but signed the dotted line. Kimberly's dad was in the Navy. Says he didn't do anything except make meals on a boat. So, oh yeah, I was looking for this. I want to see this new thing. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of it. I don't want to I don't want to spoil the. I'm even gonna cut the name of it off. I just want to show y'all what I've been working on. It's not formatted. It's not clean. It's not like it's still in the background. Check this out right here. Still working on preening it up. This thing picks out automated credit spreads right here. Like buy this one, sell this one. Then we got the buy price and the sell price. Trying to fix that and get it all net credit, close target, and there's your risk. Pretty slick, huh? I think it's pretty slick. Been working on this for 3 weeks. Finally, yesterday, I got one of these to pop out. I actually have to... I had to get the live prices, I had to basically set up an order almost in Alpaca to pull the live prices so I could get this. Let me know in the chat if you think that's pretty slick. That's coming out. Termite Trading Lab, you'll probably have it by next week. Probably have access to that. So there you go. Yeah, it's the one day. And you guys have seen the stuff in the background, but this is going on in a different channel, all cleaned up, so you just see those alerts and what to do. So I've been working on it, like sitting here working on it diligently in the background. And it crashed out Mike, the alert bot, a few times. I was really frustrated. Finally, I got it to pop one out. Now I just got to clean up the formatting, and then once that's all nice, then I'll turn it on for everybody. So, and the win rate on that thing is ridiculous. It's kind of like the next evolution of all the alert bots. The win rate back tested from January 1 through July 30th this year. It's a shorter time frame trade, only good for a day or two, or today and tomorrow basically, and 89% win rate. Trying to take all the algorithm things I do in the past and make it better. So the back tested win rate 89%. I was trying to look and see if I had the back test still up. It's actually higher than 89. I'm just rounding down. Yeah, I don't see it up at the moment. Got so many windows up. Jeez. Chimney Christmas. All right. Moving on. Let's make some money. Let's figure out where we're going, at least. S&P overnight. Look at that candle. This, everybody, is what we call a stop clear. The market cleared everybody out and then set the stage to go higher. NQ did the same thing. Look at that big stop clear. Clear them on the upper end, clear them on the lower end, clear them all out, and then set the stage to go higher. NVDA, let's pop down, take a look, see where we're at. All over the place. Golly. It's like a schizophrenic cat, right? We're popping, we're dropping. What if that little pop got me out of that trade? I took a long trade, 82.50, 85. So I bought 82.50, sold the 85. It's $2.50 potential. I spent $1. So really my potential profit was $1.50 with $1 risk. So risk $1 to make $1.50. I probably didn't get taken out. I'm sure I'm still in that trade. See what happens. It's out to Friday. Oh, one day, right? I got one more day. See what happens. Looking at the bigger picture on NVIDIA, we're just sitting here grinding. Grinding. Came up just that spike this morning, just shy of the all-time high. Right there. I guess we'll see. Do we break out? Do we break down? Next fib line up target, 212. Every dollar this moves is $24 billion flowing into and out of the market. So 24.4. See, look at the range, just the range on what we did in the first couple minutes. $5. It's like $125 billion flowing into and out of the market. Woo! Crazy numbers, right? Crazy. All right. And my whole thing is lagging, so I'm gonna have to save, reload, clear it out before it crashes. We have to I may have to close the whole browser if it's going to keep being stupid. All right. CL still grinding in this area. Now, here's one I didn't plan on talking about, but just crossed my mind that getting extra spicy here. Check this baby out. Let's pop up to a weekly chart. Oh, it didn't go far enough back. I guess it does. So check it out. We've got the current high. Got the current low. Current high, current low. Sitting in here. This one's not as liquid. Let's go over to something that's got a little more liquidity on it. That's cool. What the heck did it do? That's weird. Never mind then. It's on the weekly pattern. Can we do that? I only have like 71,000 of these. Maybe like, holy bananas, 71,000 times 35 cents. That's yeah, that's almost $30,000. pretty spicy here. If it goes to $1.50 a coin. Now, can it break out? That's the question. That's the question. Can this break out? Pushing through the 618. Can we confirm? We also have a little bit of resistance right over here. Just poking into it. That consolidation right there on the way down. That was potentially 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. This is overlapping. So this does cause me concern here. That's like a 3-wave up. Pull back. Move up. Retrace. Overlap. Not the most bullish stuff so far. I'm cautious. Trump media announcing their... This is a very complicated announcement. When I actually dove into it, it's like most of these are just real simple, but when I actually dove into this gets really complicated. There's a third player involved, and it's a SPAC. They're going to buy $5 billion of Crow. Maybe I should wait till Monday to talk about this, but maybe I'll talk about it more after I do some research over the weekend. So look at the value of Crow right here. Just roll it down where it's at the top. Now, a lot of people, it's out of the top 10, but I think they're trying to put it in the top 10. So the whole market cap is $12 billion. The deal between Trump and York, let me go try and pull up York. I don't know if it's a U.S. listed SPAC. It's a Cayman Island thing. They're going to be listed. They're actually going to go out of their SPAC status into whatever. They're looking at buying $5 billion combined between DJT and York. $5 billion of Crow. They're going to pump into that. At a $12 billion market cap, that's a pretty substantial chunk. That's like, it'd be like half of the supply. Now, the cautionary thing here is that unreleased supply right there. It's interesting. Interesting. Can it play out, or do we reject? Do we reject this and come back down? Or do we actually break out, go for a new all-time high? Don't have the answer. I'm holding for now. But I got my itchy finger on the sell button. Itchy finger. Gold. Let's take a look over here. Was pushing up this morning. Got a little smack down. Coming back up. Love to see that push on out. But we're at that 618. When you look at this, the recent pullback. Sitting here in this cautionary zone. Right here. Market is closed on Monday for Labor Day. Do we push on out or do we reject down? I don't know. Like, this has got the potential to make the next leg down. Bitcoin coming back up, continuing the bounce off of that low. Like I talked about on Crow, that move in between is overlap. Not the most bullish price action. So we still have the opportunity to come down and hit that daily roadmap line right down here. If you're like, daily roadmap line, what the fork are you talking about? I have a video pinned to the homepage. Just go check that out. Links in the description if you want the easy button. Right down here around 107. That area. Would not surprise me one bit to go hit that. You can see we did this same kind of action right here and then went on down. Wouldn't surprise me. Now, coming up this weekend is a 3-day weekend. Historically, during bullish periods of Bitcoin, 3-day weekends have seen some outsized moves up. Now, is this time different? Is this every cycle, every halving cycle we've done, a little bit different dynamics playing out? A lot of people in Bitcoin expect another run, but looking at the overall population of like hedge funds and money managers and all sorts of things, only 7% have exposure to Bitcoin. So for those of us in crypto, we're in this echo chamber where we think about it. When you look at the bigger picture, there's like 93% of the world that has no exposure to Bitcoin, at least 93% of the money world. That's a lot of potential extra buyers when you think about it. I don't know. I mean, which way is it going to go? Are we going to, maybe this time we don't do the 80% dip. Maybe we do a shallower dip. It's, you got to be okay with whatever happens. And if you don't want the volatility, don't trade it, baby. Don't trade it. So my target still remains up here in the 157 to 170,000 area. Had that target up here since we made the bottom, basically. I set that target late 2022. We're up here within spitting distance. I'd be ashamed to miss it, but I still expect this zone right up in here. Right in here. Now, if things get extra crispy spicy, might go on up to possibly 300, but I don't really expect that based on the current price action and the market cap and all the things we talk about. Law of big numbers, this thing's going to start being muted from here on out. Like, things can get crazy. M2 money supply in the latest Treasury report increased again by a pretty good chunk. More money, higher prices on everything, including Bitcoin. This one's still maintaining the potential. We still got the bullish pattern intact. This one might be the big winner chicken dinner if we can get the power to take it higher again. This setup right here, this move up, this retrace, sets up this potential to go hit that 62.2 if we can be bullish. If we do a bearish first move, second move type thing, we'll probably reject off of this 56 and come back down pretty violently. Either way, though, that's higher. Either way you want to cut this. As long as we maintain the lows right here, got a bullish spike potential going from 45 up to about 55 minimum, possibly 62. That's opportunity. I like it. Taking that opportunity. NKD bouncing off. I like it. I like it. We can see this run. That usually is an indicator that we're going to see positive momentum on this and this and this right there. Risk on assets right there. Dollar continuing to potentially drop. The target, minimum target right down here, 96.6 area. I mean, anywhere from 96.4 to 97, that zone right there is primarily where I expect it to hit. If we get through that, come on down to 95.5 area, 95.6 area, down in there. Apple, still not being very enthusiastic. And I just don't have much to offer here. Could we pop out? Yeah. If we get through this junk right here in the upside, maybe we could take it on higher. 276. Amazon being non-committal. Google, we're going up to 220, 219. Meta retesting the breakouts. long as we hold right there, the odds are we're going on up. Right there. On up would be 840, 839. I just made profit on that trade I showed off a minute ago. I closed the screenshot, but the spread thing I showed you a minute ago, I took that trade and I just made 50% profit. Cool. 50% of the credit, that is. All right. Microsoft came up shy of the 565 targets. Grinding in here. If we can hold it, going on higher. NVDA. Yeah. Turning red. So we're going to give it up. There's the low of the range. We come back down. We can come back down to the breakout, as I've kind of talked about. So we'll see. See what happens here. Retesting the breakouts. Kind of likely. We came up, hit the 1272. Stayed there for 2 months. We break back down. Potential to bounce at 165, but if we don't bounce there, retest the breakout. And that's where the roadmap line is too, or gonna be in a couple weeks. So we can see softness out of NVIDIA. Remember, disappointment. I mean, those earnings were horrible, right? Tesla, if we can do this breakout thing and actually break out through the prior highs. Once you do one of these squeeze plays and we break out, typically we'll see it go. I mean, typically, this is not a universal, like, has to do it type of thing. But the distance of the mouth over here is usually what you do when you break outs. Prime example of that. Check this out back here. And this one right here. My drawing tools keep moving around. Keep moving them around. We had this big move from the bottom to the top. You can see we shot right the heck out of there. See where we did that first consolidation? Right up to it. Then consolidated. And then went on higher. Doesn't have to go on higher. Several of them have done a consolidation like this and then right back down. But to me, that's a beautiful example of the potential on a watermelon seed squeeze right there. And that did it for that was well over a year. And then pop. So Tesla did this consolidation in here for a couple months. And we did this big one, then we popped, and we haven't gone the full juice there. And then we've done this little baby one in here for a couple months. Potential to run higher. That put us up at 450 on Tesla. Netflix, first move down, second move down, would put us right down here. Resistance still above us. Support at the roadmap line. Target down here. We'll see what happens. We could just do a big spike down like we did last time. Last time we had this, we got a quick flush out. So we'll see what happens on Netflix. No, top of the list. Look at that pop. Beautiful. I have one share only. Rock and roll. Let's go to the target. These guys make software that makes data centers more efficient. So if you're a data center builder and you buy a bunch of computers, you build a data center, usually the usage on that's only 25%. you know, it's kind of crazy. You run all those computers, Google Cloud, roll out all those computers, everything. Typically, you can only get 25% usage. But Snow has software that they create that takes that data center usage from 25% up to more like 85%. So all those computers sitting around just burning electrons can actually make you more money without having to build more infrastructure. That's kind of key in current AI world right there. Now, of course, if you're training an AI and you're using 100% usage all the time, like that's, your own thing. But Snow creates for cloud infrastructure that runs, multiple customers and stuff like that. Snow helps increase the utilization of that hardware. Burlington Coat Factory popping, hitting the target. Watch out for a retrace at this point. Not bad. Not bad. This could just be the third wave. Like this could be first move, second move, third move. One I saw yesterday got me kind of a little interested. So this one may have topped out, but the way this is, like it looks overlapping, but this actually, proportions look like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, with the higher lows and the higher highs. So if this pops, could be pretty spicy. $10 support, roadmap line. I'm going to say, let's go with a $50 target. Now, would I buy it? No, I'd probably sell puts on it because look at the beta on this baby. Now, does it have the potential to break down and do another flush? Sure. They've all got downside potential. So, I like it. Yep. In this one with puts, down at 18, well below the current price action. I think that's going to be a winner even if it disappoints. Urban. Earnings are out. Boy, yeah, that one should pay. I don't remember where I was with that one. I didn't do this in the 50K challenge account, but I did it in other accounts. That one should pay. I was down in the 60s, wasn't I? Pretty sure. Snowflake. Snowflake has a 2x leverage. Look at that baby. We'll play Snowflake for lower dollars. There you go. 2x leverage. PSTG. Pure storage. Rock and roll. Everybody needs to store their crap somewhere, right? This is good until the recession hits, and then it's going to get devastated because people won't pay their bills. Buy more crap, put it in storage. BBW. Build-A-Bear. Dang, Build-A-Bear. Maybe get a contract with Labubu or something? Good grief. Be careful on that one. Likely to pull back. Ollie's getting near the target. Right up there at 144. Core weave. Make a little pop, but be careful here. This can come back down. 5. Below. Potentially bottomed. And setting up the target for 405. PAHC. And I don't know. Biotech Pharma, staying away for me. LEU. Nice little pullback, but I still expect the roadmap line to get hit here. Now this could have been the back test of this fib. Like that was close enough. Could be set up to push on out. 390. Next upside. And lately I've been putting the 2.0 on here. There's that 2.0 right there. So 306, 392. MSTR. MicroStrategy. Grinding just below the roadmap line. We hit the target that I expected. For all of you that didn't think we'd do this, I hate to say I told you so. So at this point, we've got first move, second move, third move. We touched just in there. Got the potential to dip just a little lower, similar to Bitcoin. Can we pop from here? It has a setup to come back up to 550, 590, you know, possibly this zone right here. If we can pull it together. Right in there. But we got to do some upside stuff. Breaking back through that 415 area would be a good tell. We're going to go on up to 550. CLEC, CLEC. Yeah. Can't do much with that. Probably going to retrace. NSC, potential to come back to the roadmap line. Let's look at DG. That's a nice little move. If we hit the roadmap line here, that's an opportunity. I need to. I don't know if I have enough account to do that one, but it's on my bullish list. TCOM, look at that, baby, go. Essentially going to go on up to 81, possibly 86. Coinbase, still expecting this. Can crypto bottom without Coinbase hitting the roadmap line? I don't know. I don't know. I want to see this hit right here because that sets up the explosive upside opportunity. Let's look at setups. Let's look at stuff set up with an entry today. So we've got that high, we get this low, we got the close above, we got 11.17 on the targets. No, let's see, no trades. There's 16 trades in the history, 62%, and doesn't really tell me anything on that baby. It's not bad though. I mean, it is low priced stuff, so dollar below the low is like almost 15% risk. Be careful. Yeah, that one stopped out on the last move. Black line. Doesn't mean the next one won't work. That high, that low, that close above. Sets the target at 59.70. Let's see if we can reset the report. 8 trades, 62, 2. Doesn't mean anything. BMRC. Ooh, look at that one. Nice. That actually looks really nice. 17.76 1. Doesn't mean anything. If this is below 30, these don't really mean anything unless this is really close to 30 and these are really high. Or really low. 26.58. Stop dollar below the low as always. CAC. Another one firing off right there. 45.17. 31.70. Negative. I wouldn't take it. Cash. Already in it from back here. Another bounce though. Another day, another dollar. Another bounce. 86.56. Let's see. CNQ. Probably the wrong one with a D by it. CNQ. I need that New York Stock Exchange version. And we get the little baby bounce right there. Get it close above 32. Not a bad one, statistic wise. Cousins. Kissing cousins. 31.54 targets. 42.69 1. And Canada Goose. Vodka. 16 on the targets. Not the best history. HBCP. Maybe like this is the best opportunities you can find. These are my bounces, all right? These are the high probability bounces, and I like looking at these for opportunities. 62.29, stop $1 below the low. This one 19.68, negative profit factor. HIW, another example. Another high, another low. Entry potential 32.68. There. 27. See, this is close, but I wouldn't trade it because of these bad numbers over here. That would, yeah, 3 more wins is not going to fix these numbers right here. So HPP, ooh, I don't like that one because it's under the roadmap line. Despite it triggering, it even triggered the algorithm to fire off. Just not a fan of that. $3 on the upside, but that's low price stuff. Really low price stuff. It's like a 50% risk for the reward being a few pennies. 10 buck ups, you know, $10 on the target up there. MPC. Oh, look at that beautiful bounce right there. Got this high, we got that low. 186 upside target. Right there. 13. So these don't mean anything, but it does have pretty nice numbers. Regardless. OIS. I've drawn a lot of stuff on this one. We got this high, we got this low. Potential for that right there. $6. Low price stuff. Be careful. OVV. Got this high. We got that low. We got that entry. We got that 44 target. Stop $1 below the low. Down around 37. 25 trades. 82. Not bad on OVV. Still not statistically significant, but here's the high. Here's the low. There's the entry. 30 targets. Stop $1 below the low. More energy stuff. Potentially turn the bottom. RHP. Here's the high. Here's the low. There's the entry. $7. 107 targets. And hospitality properties. Real estate investment trusts don't always flow and follow the pattern, but not bad right there. See what their dividend is. Just curious at this point. 4.5 and not the greatest. I like them in the 8 to 12 range, but ExxonMobil. So we got an MPC and ExxonMobil on the list, and actually grabbed that high right there for 117.80 target. Right there. Look at the history. 44, 81, 1.2. That's right on pace with average. This is better than average, and there you go. That is a statistically significant population. So 81% of the time we win. Profit factor 1.27, right in pace with historical average across most tickers. So pretty average right there. And 117.80. You could play options on this. You could play a spread right here. Play it out for a little ways. Now, this thing that just fired off, that ACS thing fired off right behind me, that I go out to the end of the 99%. So if you wanted to be playing this right here on the daily, you'd have to be out a ways. Talking about out like 150 days, at least 150 candles. That's 210 calendar days. So yeah, it ties up the money a little ways. So be careful out there. All right. I'm going to go. I've got to go look at what I just traded. Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll hunt for opportunities. Hasta mañana. Hasta lasagna. Don't get any on ya. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. Be careful out there. I'll be in Discord. Hopefully NVIDIA turns around, but if it doesn't, oh well. Looks like it's going to be a loser. It's a loser, baby. We'll see what happens. Have a great day.